a huge congratulations to you and your family for the beautiful home. It's so, wow, fantastic. And then you said also in your video that this is your second home in the UK. So we want you to take us through, like, first-time buyers, as immigrants as well. What do you think is the first thing we need to do if we want to buy an apartment in the UK? What's the first thing we need to do? And also, there's also this saying that you can only buy a house in the UK if you are if you're a citizen. So I don't know how true that is. So a lot of people will tell you, no, you have to be a citizen, you have to have your papers, you have to have your ILR. You cannot buy a house in the UK just like that. So all these rumors and naysayers, like, just based on your own experience and as an immigrant as well, just let us know what's the first thing to do if you want to buy a house in the UK.
Let's start with your last question. So
yes.
You don't need to have an ILR or a British passport to buy a house in the UK. You can buy a house if you are on any valid work permit. It can be skill visa, it can be global talent visa, it can be intercompany transfer visa, or even, you know what, students can buy a house if you don't require a loan from the bank here. If you have enough deposit needed to buy a house, you can even buy a house.
Oh, wow. So students can even get house as long as they're not getting loan from the government.
Yes.
But if you need loan from the government, but once you're on any skilled work visa, then you can. Definitely. Wow. Thank you so much.
The only thing what they want to see is when you go to their bank to buy, they want to see how long is your visa valid for and whether you have a fixed income and if you will be able to pay them back. So for international students, if you don't go for a loan, they don't want to see your pay slip. They don't care, right? Because you're not going to the bank to take the loan. The UK government says, as long as you're not going to the bank, you have enough deposit, you buy the house. And for the guys who are work permit, any kind of work permit, as long as your visa is valid from 2 years, generally I have seen almost all the banks will give you a loan to buy the house. Some of the good banks or banks who are very immigrant friendly are like NatWest, Halifax, and Santander, and Barclays. These are the top 4 banks I'm going to say. They are very open to immigrants.
Wow.
And any work permit, if you have valid for 2 years, you can go with your copies of your work permit. Make sure you carry your pay slip because they want to see what is your fixed income which comes. And so those are the important stuffs you need to know. And before you buy a house, you need to do a forward planning. So the most important thing in the UK market is you should have a good credit score because that is going to determine how many.
Yes, we need to talk about that as well.
Yeah, because it will determine how much deposit you have to pay. So I'll give you an example, guys. So I bought the first house when I did not get my ILR. I was still on the work permit in the UK, which was back in 2015. And that time, my husband just came from India. So I bought a phone for him on a contract. So the moment I took a phone on contract, my credit history goes down. Because till the time you don't pay the bill for the next 3 to 4 months, your credit score doesn't go up. And then I was trying to buy the house and I went to the bank and I checked. So my credit score was not good enough. So there are different kinds of scoring which is given. Is low, good, and excellent. So mine was good because I have just taken a loan not a loan, I have taken a phone on a contract. So because my credit score was not excellent, when I went to the bank to buy the loan, I was asked to pay 25%. Okay. And I was prepared only for 10% because I knew my score is good because I had been paying all my bills on time. I have a for my credit card. I have not done any fraud. So I was very optimistic. Hey, pay 10%. I was ready with that 10% deposit in my account. But only when my credit score was low, then I realized I have to pay 25% deposit, which I was not ready. And that time, I did have to borrow money. Like my parents gave me, my friends gave me, and I collected that 25% deposit and I bought the house. So anybody who's looking to buy a house in the UK, make sure you don't take anything on credit that time. I've taken in the past, make sure you have already done a 3 months of payment already so that scoring gets better. Make sure you start taking credit card, but do a direct debit so that you don't miss out any of the deadlines. And I think start saving some money if you want to buy a house. Because if you guys don't have a passport or ILR, you will need minimum 10% deposit to buy a house. Yeah, only for passport holders, they can buy their first house with 5% deposit. So anyone who's watching the video, if you don't have a British passport, try saving 10%, whatever is your budget. So say a family who got an income of £50,000. So the bank will give you 5 times more than your salary. So you can afford a house of £250,000.
Oh, so it's 5% of your general income that
Five
you will
times,
get.
5 times.
5 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
So say either one individual salary is 50K, and then you can buy a bank will give you a loan of 250K, so you can afford that much money. And say if you're buying as a partner, so say 50K another your partners, so you can do that clubbing, and then you'll get another 5% if you buy as a couple. So the first house that I bought just on my salary, because my husband was pretty new, he did not have any history, and so on my salary I did get like 5 times the amount, and I was able to afford the house just on my name. And the second house that we bought, of course, we have bought a bigger house, and with both of us salaried together.
Wow, it was about 600,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
So those are the tips I'm going to just to summarize everything that we talked about. Anyone who is in the UK with any kind of valid work visa, you can buy the house. You don't need an ILR or a British passport. As long as your visa is valid for 2 years, you can buy. Make sure your credit score is good or excellent. If it's good, you will have to pay 25% deposit. If it's excellent, you will have to pay only 10%.
10%.
And whatever is the salary, you 5 times more than that to buy a house. So a 50,000 salary will give you, a bank will give you 250K. You can afford a house of 250K in the UK. And start saving money. Make sure you have as much as saving you can, because even the solicitors are going to charge you a lot of money here. Around for 250 or 280 house, we had paid I don't remember now exactly, 5 to 6K, and this I don't remember we are paid. So you will have to save another additional amount to pay for the solicitors. You will have to pay the taxes. So I would say keep ready 15% or 20% in your account, because you will need a lot of money while you are buying a house. That is how I'm going.
Wow, thank you so much. At least now I'm very sure that anybody can buy a house. Even if you're on a student visa, as long as you do not need a loan from the bank, you can buy a house. And if you're on any kind of work permit, then you can get loan from the bank to buy a house. Thank you so much for clearing that up. So all the people that say that you have to be a British citizen to get a house in the UK, no, 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 you don't have to. So now you mentioned something that is very important, and that is credit score. How do we really build our credit score to be excellent? That is the point. We have seen so many things. A lot of people say, get a credit card, you've gotten it. Some take phone contract, you've taken it, but the credit score is still not building. Like, what exactly do we need to do to take it to excellence? And how long, realistically, do you think this will take that you can, move your credit score to excellence?
Okay. So the most important thing I'm going to say, wherever you are staying or living in the UK, make sure you have all your bills on your name and start paying everything by direct debit. So I'll start with council tax. I know students don't pay council tax, yeah? So it will be different for students, but anyone who's on a work permit or any kind of work visa in the UK, make sure council tax you pay with your name. If you're husband and wife together, make sure on the council tax you have both of your name together, so that there's a history for both of you, and debit. For wherever bills that you have to pay, make sure you have a direct debit set up so that you don't miss any of the deadlines. The second will be your electricity bills. Third would be your, I'll say your Wi-Fi, whatever bills you can off, just make sure you have done a direct debit so that you don't miss out any of the dates. Do not miss out any of the dates, because if you'll miss out, that will be a negative scoring for you. So make sure, if you want to create a positive, do not be a defaulter, start setting up a direct debit for everything possible. Third or fourth thing that I would say, definitely go and register yourself in the electoral roll. So in the UK, there are lots of elections happening in the parliament. So if you got the rights to live in the UK, it means you can also vote here. And to do that, you need to register on the UK government website. Just go and write electoral roll registration. It will pop up with a screen to fill up your details with your postcode. And then once you fill up the form, you will get post, and then you're registered. So that is very important in the UK, because again, your history is maintained with that. Because there is living in this address, and then you can also vote whenever there is a happening in the UK. Make sure you take the chance to. One very important point I'm going to say: do not change your address so often. Try to be at one place as much as possible. I know for students it's a difficult, because you have to maybe move because of, I don't know, job, or maybe you find a cheaper place. In the initial few months is okay, but once you find a little stability, do not switch or do not move too much of your address, because changing address is also considered good in the UK, because the government will think, why are you changing your address so much? So I will say, especially for people who are planning for come in the UK, either to get a ILR or to even buy a house, try to be constant at one place as much possible. So in 5 years, if you change your address 2 or 3, still okay, but make sure it's not like 10 times.
Yeah, like every 3 months you're changing your address.
Don't do that, because the government will also get confused. You will have to fill all the details. Why are you changing? Where did you live at this place? They will check everything, yeah, whether you paid the council tax, did you pay your bills. So make sure you do not change your address so much. This is what I'm going to say. What else we talked about? And another thing which I said was, try to take something on credit. It can be a phone or it can be anything, and then set up a direct debit. And I can tell you confidence, if you just follow all these steps, you know, your credit score will increase. And I have not done anything more than what I'm sharing. So if you just follow this, I'm sure your score will be good. It will be excellent for sure.
Wow. Thank you so much. So credit score is like almost everything in the United Kingdom, and we just have to take it seriously. Do not miss your payments. Like, do not miss your payments. Ensure that you do not miss your payments at all. If you set up a direct debit, make sure there's money in your account. Don't miss your payment. So what are the steps, Sarika? Now you've told us how we can get the money, how we can get good credit score. Now I have a good credit score. Now how do I start my house journey? What are the steps? Do I go for viewing? Do I meet an agent? What do I do? Do I go on spare room and just search, or Google to just search buy a house? What exactly do I need to do?
Okay, so first thing that you should be doing, considering that you are not a student, you are on a work permit, okay? And you require a loan from the bank, okay? So go to the bank, any bank of your choice, say, like I said, immigrant friendly bank, Halifax, Santander, and Barclays. There was one more which I mentioned, I forgot.
Yes.
And just go to that one of the bank, or all of the three of the banks, say, hey, this is my salary. If you're going alone, or partner, say, this is our joint salary, this is our pay slip, this is our bank statement. Can you give me a letter that how much is the principal amount I can borrow, or what will be the loan that I will get? So that document that you get bank, that is called principal document, principal account document, or something like that. The document basically says you have the authority to buy a house of 60K. And then once you have that letter, you can start browsing the property in your area. So say if you are in Liverpool, yeah, whichever, if you want to buy a house near town center, start browsing the property. So now you know that you will allow to take a loan of 250K. So you know your budget, 250K, then start browsing. And then say, I will say, once you have shortlisted 5 to 10 properties, the agent who's going to show you the property, you can book your appointment and they will call you. The moment they will call you, they will ask you, do you have this principal statement from the bank? How much can you book? Because they want to show you are a legal, you have the authority to buy a house, and they want to see whether you can have that money, or you can have that kind of loan from the bank. And they don't want you to waste their time. So they want that confidence you have the preparation. So as you give them this statement, then they will have that that yes, you can afford this house, and they will be also asking you for your pay slip. They will be also asking for your bank statements, so that they know that you are a candidate. So just make sure, go and book your appointment once you have this principal amount document from the bank based on your
yeah, someone has helped us. They said the document is called agreement in principle.
Yes, agreement in principle. Thank
you, Ife, for that. Yes. So once you have that, then you can start viewing properties. So what kind of properties are there in the UK? What kind of house, and what kind of house are there in the UK?
So there are 4 types of properties in the UK. The one, the flat system, like you have almost in all the countries.
So you can buy a flat as well.
Yeah. You can buy. To be honest, you know, with the amount of we have invested in this area where I'm living now, with this money in the London, I would have not been able to afford a house. I would have been able to afford just a flat. Yeah, because London.
Oh, for 600 a flat, then
Yeah.
they can keep their London. No way.
So,
There's no way.
so I've just taken it outside London. I'm 30 miles outside the London, not in London. So yes, the first type of property is your flat system. The second is called your terraced house. So what is terrace? The walls of both the houses are attached with your neighbor. That is called terrace house. The third type of property is called semi-detached house, where you have one wall of your house attached to your neighbor. Yeah? And the fourth type is called your detached house or bungalow. So in your bungalow house, none of your walls are attached with your neighbor. So it's kind of independent. So as I explained in the order, the most expensive is your detached house or bungalow, because you have your own privacy, because your walls are not attached to the neighbors. The second one is your semi-detached, and the third one is terrace and the flat. So the flats will be the least expensive. So if you have little budget, I would say start with anything that you can afford. Like I said, 6 years back, in 2015, I was able to afford a semi-detached house. So I started with semi-detached house. So whatever that you can afford based on your total income, you can go with that.
Oh, wow. So it's just based on what you can afford. That is what you should go with.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. If you can afford a flat, go for it. If you can afford. So I saw a very, very interesting question here, and I think I need to read it. So the person said, how is the payback pattern? How much do we need to pay monthly? And what bills come with buying the house? You know, most times when you rent house, they will tell you bills inclusive, bills inclusive. Is there anything like that when it comes to buying a house and the payment pattern?
So what is the question exactly? Can you say that again?
Okay, so she said, what is the payback pattern? You know, you said you have to get a loan from the bank. How do we pay back? And how much do we need to pay monthly? And what bills come with buying a house?
Okay, so once you go to the bank, this is the minimum you have to pay. It's up to you whether you increase that amount or put a less amount. If I remember correctly, you will have to pay how much? I don't know how much I paid in the first one. I think 10% you will have to pay back every. I need to double check and get back, because I need to do that calculation. I don't remember how much. And in the new house as well, how much I'm doing it, I don't remember now. But what I'll do is after the live session, I'm just go and look at my bank statement, how much I'm paying. But I think at least 5 or 10% have to do a payback. Yeah. Say roughly in my first house, I am still paying £1,000, £950 per month. But again,
Oh, wow.
depends. So when you go to the bank, based on your age, they will ask you, how long do you want to carry this mortgage? Do you want to carry it for 20 years, 25 years, 28 years? Yeah. So if you start the period, you have to pay more amount. A longer period, you will have to pay a lesser amount. Yeah. So I didn't want to take the mortgage for a very long time. If I remember correctly, for the first house, I have said I've taken it for 20 years, I believe, if I remember correctly. And for the new, we have just said another 20 years or 25 years. So therefore, for the old house, I took the old house, by the way, for £285, 285K, and I'm paying 932 per month. And in the new house, roughly we are paying £2,200 per month as our
Wow.
so I need to do that calculation. How much is it coming out to be? If you are better in maths, then your calculation. And roughly we have taken a for the new house. How much did we take a mortgage? Around 300K, 300 or 50K. We have taken a mortgage, and we had a saving. And of course, we have taken some help from our family and then also our friends. And we are still kind of paying them back a little bit amount every month. So we have taken a lot of help from our family. Otherwise, afford such a big house.
Wow, that is fantastic. Yes, in your video, you mentioned about extension. That was something fascinating that I saw as well. You have gotten the house, then you said you applied for an extension to break down some parts, to enlarge the house. Because really, UK houses are really small. Like, I don't know why the British are like very, very, very reserved, you know, conservative people compared to me coming back from Africa. we have like a whole big house. The parlor is always massive where family members can come play, but it's not really like that. And then you explained that you had to like break down some parts of the house, extend the house. Well, how did you do this? How were you able to get the permission? What did you do?
Okay, so in the UK, if you require extension, it's a long process. Yeah, so you will have to contact your local council, whichever area you are living in. The UK, you will have your local council. So when we bought the house, so my husband already knew that we need to extend the house because we bought the house and we were not happy because we could see there was a lot of potential for extension and the house will look a little beautiful if we did another 800. So first of all, I'm going to tell you a few things. If you require, if you want to do extension of just 400 meters, you don't require a permission from your local council. Okay. Last year, a rule was passed in the UK that if you want to extend your house by 4 meters, you don't require extension. But if you require extension of more than 4 meters, like we did, we extend the house by 8 meters, we had to go to our local council. On the website of your local council, there is a form, extension form, which you fill that this is the property and you want to extend your house. You need to tell why you are extending, how is it going to benefit you, and provide all the pictures. And then what happens? Council reaches, they will look at your property. They will also send someone to review your property. Like an engineer will come and they will survey your property. And the second thing, what happens? Your local council will be sending letter to your neighbors, your left, right, front, and the back neighbors, yeah, of your house, because they want to inform them that one of your neighbors is sending the house, and if you got any concern, you have to let us know. For example, say the neighbors will say, "Hello, we don't want this extension to go because this is blocking my view," or hey, if this extension goes, it will invade my privacy. So there can be any reason. If there will be any objection from your neighbor, council may reject your request for approval extension. Luckily, in our case, there was no request from our neighbors. Nobody kind of.
You have good neighbors.
I'm going to tell you, we did something clever here. We already reached out to our neighbor before.
You had to tell them first, right? Like, please, we're about to extend. Please don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, we introduced ourselves, said, hey, we are new neighbors. We're going to put up your request for extension. Do you see any problem or not? So we already had a chat with everyone because we wanted the process to be very smooth. So if you guys are planning for extension, you can also try this technique because they all are British people. If you have a good bond with them, they like you, they will not object such kind of thing, and they kind of like the idea. They came and visited us. They wanted to see what we're doing, so it was a good journey for us. So I would say anyone who's planning for extension, just remember 4 meter extension, you don't require any permission. For more than 4 meters you need to fill the form on your local council website. They will send it for survey and review. A letter will be sent to your neighbors, so make sure you go and speak to your neighbors in advance so that they know who you are, and also they will be happy that you have already spoken to them. They will feel important.
Yes, exactly. That's the word. Like, you reached out to me, so you're not being a stranger. You're not just coming off and I'm just seeing a letter someone is extending and then I haven't even heard from the person. So I think it's smart to talk to them beforehand. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Shei. Someone dropped a comment that your repayment too will be dependent on your credit score, your interest rates, and the price of the property you're buying. So to be able to work out how much you're going to pay back to the bank, then they'll have to check all these things. So if my credit score is not as high as Sarika's credit score, then my repayments might be a bit higher than what she's paying because she has a good credit score. So your repayments will also be dependent on your credit score, your interest rates, and the price of buying. Thank you for sharing that. So I want to ask another question here. Now, someone said, will buying a property guarantee your ILR in the UK? I don't know. Can you answer that? Will you buying a property guarantee that you get your indefinite leave to remain in the UK?
You know what? There's no clear-cut kind of information on the UK Home Office, but you know what? When you apply for ILR, they do ask a question, where do you live and whether you own a property or not. So when you own a property, it shows that you are making an investment in this country. So I think it makes your case stronger, but it doesn't go against you if you don't have a property and if you live in a rented house. So I would say it's neutral. It's totally up to you. If you buy a property, it's okay. If you're not, as long as you have other criteria met for ILR, like, you know, your credit score should still be good. You have lived in the UK for 5 years with the gap just 180 days in a year. And the requirement, as long as you fulfill that, it's okay. If you don't have a permit, that's totally fine.
Okay. So another question: can one buy a house and resell even under current mortgage?
Sorry, what's the question?
Can one buy a house and resell even under the current mortgage?
On your current mortgage, can you buy another house, you're saying?
Yes, I think that's what the person. Can one buy a house? Yeah. Can you buy another house, then resell that house on your current mortgage?
Guys, my house, I have not paid the whole mortgage. Like I said, I've taken for 20 years and I bought that house in 2015. So my first mortgage is still there. Second house I have taken, I have not sold my house. It's still there. I put that. I've given it to my cousins. Actually, my cousins are here studying in the UK. So they are living in my old house. We moved to this house. So I have not closed the mortgage. That is still going to go for another 15 years, or I don't remember.
Oh, so you're running the two houses simultaneously?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's possible. Yeah. But wouldn't you be paying more? Like, would it not affect your credit score, your credit history or something? Because you did say that you're paying like 900 monthly for that and then about 2,000 for that. So is that not like too much to be paying monthly?
So you have to remember, my husband is also working. I'm also working. We both are working in IT. And, you know, in the UK, IT people are paid a little bit good salary, I will say, as compared to maybe other jobs. And also with, now I have like good experience in the UK. So I get a good increment in my company as well. And a little bit of help from YouTube as well, because I'm earning a little bit of money from YouTube. So I think
YouTuber with 200K. You are the woman that aspired to be, Sarika. 200K on YouTube is no beans. I'm still struggling with my 6K. God help me. Wow, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Okay, so this one is, no one is asking. I'm asking for my personal knowledge. If you're running your mortgage, like the first one, can you place it on rent and then make money from it? Is that possible? Are you breaching any term? Is that?
No, you have to change your mortgage. So what happens in the UK, there are two kinds, not two, there can be more types of mortgage. So first of all, when you buy a property, whether the bank will ask you whether you're buying the property to live or are you buying a property to rent it out. So the first property, we had to change the mortgage with the bank because initially we lived in that property for 5 to 6 years, right? So our property, the terms and conditions were different. So we had to go to the bank to change the mortgage to make it for lending. Yeah. So once you change that, of course, I have to also pay a little bit more extra government. So once you go and change your terms and condition or change the type of mortgage, you're totally fine. You're not breaching any contract.
Oh, wow. So you have to pay more now.
Little bit, yeah.
He likes money, but it's your house. Whether whether you bought it to stay in or you bought it to rent it out, why are you paying more for it again when you've already, like, it's already on your name, it's your house already, it's your mortgage. So if you want to rent your apartment now, you have to change it. So meaning you can make money from that as well at the same time. Like, apparently for me, if I have a house like that, I'll put it on rent and then my tenants will be paying the mortgage for me somehow while I still make money from them. I think that's a smart business to do if one can do it.
Yeah, in the UK, yes, if you can afford a house and then if you can put that on rent, you can also earn good money. And especially at the moment, there's accommodation crisis going on in the UK. If you have a property, you can earn good money from renting. But like I said, I have a cousin now living in that city, so of course it's not. I cannot ask for a rent. Yeah, so he needs time to settle. Once is okay if he wants to give or share something. But for 6 months, I think he need to settle down in the UK.
Oh, wow. Indians are nice people. Like, that's really nice. And that's one thing I love about the Indians. In fact, I remember your bedroom tour, because I watched that video like 20 times before asking you to do this. Like, you did share that, oh, this is your father-in-law's room, this is your, I'm like, wow, like the whole family coming together, even in a new country. That is great. Like, that is so fantastic. Wow,
Yes.
thank you so much for sharing that. So you
So
can,
yeah.
okay, yeah, go on.
So last year, my father-in-law, he lived with us for 6 months because he came on tourist visa. Yeah, because on tourist visa, you're allowed to live for 6 months. So he lived for 6 months. Now he went back. He will be in India for 6 months. After 6 months, he will come. So this summer, my parents are also planning to come. So I have a dedicated room for my parents, one
Yes,
dedicated room for.
I mean, a 6 bedroom is a whole lot to go around. I saw you. You
But
did say, oh, this is for your in-laws. This is for your own
yeah,
parent. This is for this. This is for. I said, wow, Sarika has her own plan. And this is my YouTube studio. And like, oh, even YouTube gets a room.
yeah,
That is so.
yeah. The room I'm sitting now, this is the room. Yeah.
Oh, is this your YouTube room?
Yeah, I have
Oh,
to do a
nice.
lot. I haven't got a chance because there's still a lot of work going on. My kitchen is not yet set up because we
Oh yes,
finished.
I was going to talk about your kitchen because you did say that you ordered it, and I'm like, which one is? Why are you ordering kitchen? So I want to ask, when you buy the house, are you buying the building or you're buying it with furnitures and fitting? So can you take us through that?
Yeah, so when you buy a house, you basically get an empty house. Yeah. So again, when you, for example, I'll give you an example of the house that we bought now. Yeah, because we
Mm-hmm.
bought the house, we got the empty house. Then we had to do the extension. When you do the extension, then you need a lot of people to complete that extension. You need people who can do the extension work. You need electrician who can do the linings or the electrician. We got all our linings changed because it was old property, and then we have done our underfloor hitting. So almost all the floors were kind of removed, and then we have done changed all the pipes. And what else? So we kind of refurbished the whole house. So we needed all the kind of people needed to do the house. And luckily we have friends here. So we knew people who have done a similar kind of work, who have done extension. We took help from them, whom to contact, who are the best people in the market, and just bought them and got the work done. And but I'm going to tell you, the old house that we had bought, the previous house, we literally did nothing in the house. It was a 3 bedroom house. We were left with no money. We just took our bags. We went to the house, started living on the kitchen. Yeah. And the first day when we went, we did not have even bed. We did not have mattress. We did not have anything. We just moved in.
Wow.
But at that time in the old house, we didn't have the requirement to do any extension. We were happy with the house we got. So literally, it all depends what kind of house you're buying. If it's extension, you can just move in with your bags. You don't have. We didn't do anything in the old house for the first 3 years because we were left with no money. But in this house, we signed the papers way back in March. So last March, it took us 6 weeks to get permission from the consul, and then we went to India for emergency. So we lost 1 month there. Once we back, we started the extension work. We started with the wall permission. Architects came, did the design. So it took us almost 6 months, and it was only December before going to India. We just moved our luggage here or all our stuffs. We just had our heating in place. Kitchen was not properly set up. Our bathroom was set up. So at least we were able to move our stuff. So once we came back in December, now the remaining work is started. So our work is still not complete. The stuffs we have ordered from Ren Kitchen, not order everything in December. So the parts were missing, something broken. So the next delivery is only on 10th of Feb. No, 4th of Feb, I think next week. So once it's done, we have got our own carpenter who will come and who will fix it. And of course, there are a lot of electricity work done, like the outside or the bulbs fitting done. So you have two options. Either you can take service from the provider, or you can have your own people. So for Ren Kitchen, if I wanted to use their carpenter for installation, it would have costed me 5 times more money. But we got our own, and we are kind of saving money. And another thing I'm going to add here, maybe people doesn't know. So say bathroom, yeah, get a new bathroom done. If you take from the big service providers like say B&Q here, the whole of the bathroom will get you in around 30,000 pounds, one bathroom to be done. But what we did, we got it done very cheap because we spent only 5,000 pounds in a bathroom. Say how? We bought all the stuffs on the sale, and we got our own plumber to come and do the fix. So we finished our bathroom each bathroom in £5,000. So
Wow.
so anyone who is looking to get your house done, buy this stuff, if you can find on, and get your own plumber, get your own electrician who will come to the fitting, and you will save a lot of money. And that is how
Yeah.
money. Yeah.
Wow. So all the 600,000 is just for the building, not the furnitures and fitting of the apartment.
No.
Oh my God. So do you get a mortgage for that, or it has to be your own personal money?
We didn't take what we did. I'm going to tell you openly here because we need a lot of money. So we have taken personal loans. So I have taken, I don't know how much I should say on this live, but I have taken 2 personal loans, and my husband took 1 personal loan, which is a big amount. So with our personal loan plus mortgage, with help from family, we are managing it now. Yeah, and at the moment we have not started the work for the garden. There will be a lot of work in the garden. What we
Yeah,
are
I saw it was just an open with a lot of scrap, a very massive place as well.
yeah. So what we are doing, we are saving money for the month from a salary for Jan, Feb, and March. And once we'll have a little bit of saving, we'll start the work in the garden, because when it's summer, so that we can utilize the garden.
I can't wait. Maybe you invite me for a barbecue party. I can't wait.
Come and visit me.
Wow, that is nice. Oh, we have lots of questions here. I will just quickly run through so many. So someone is saying, if you have a house, if you want to get a house of £250,000, can you deposit 50 to £100,000 without having issues with the authorities?
So you're saying if you want to buy a house of £250?
Yeah, you did mention that you should have at least, if you need like 10 to 25% deposit. So this person is even saying, what if I have up to 100K?
Oh,
I have a problem with the authorities.
You will have no problem at all. That will be more better, and maybe you better interest rate. What I have seen, if you deposit more money, you get better interest rate. Yeah. For the current houses, we were asked to pay only 10K deposit. I mean 10% deposit, but we paid a deposit of 15%, and then we got a better interest rate. If we have done a deposit of 10%, we would have more interest. So I said the more deposit you have, better for you, because you get a better interest rate.
Oh, okay. So someone is saying that, is it worth buying a brand new house or old house?
I will definitely buy an old house, because old houses are bigger and they are more as compared to the new house. Unless until you want to buy a new house yourself, so that you know how you are building it, what is the material behind it, and how robust it is. Yeah. So I will definitely say the older houses, because it's much bigger. I have seen all the new houses. In fact, when we were in a house, we have seen new houses. We didn't like it because the rooms were smaller. And if you compare with the older houses, you will have a bigger room. So I will say get a older house and then refurbish it based on the budget and time.
Another person is saying, can you get loan to refurbish your apartment, or you have to pay for it?
No, you can get a loan from the government. From the bank. Yeah. And reach out to them saying you need for refund. Again, based on your salary, they will look at your score and all credit scores they will give you. For the old house, like I said, we didn't do anything. We never took it, but there's a possibility. And for our current house, if you want to take something after 6 months, I think our bank will allow. Yeah.
Okay. Another person is saying, which area in the UK can we get house with better budgets, like affordable houses?
So I'm going to say, London is very expensive. If you can afford London, well and good for you. I will not recommend you to take a house in zone 1 to zone 4, because that's very expensive. Unless until there's some rich people in the live chat, I don't know. You can afford.
Rich people like me.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, if you're in London, take it from say zone 4, zone 5, like Harrow, Wembley on the west side, or if you are on the left, you can go to East London. Those are the areas where you can afford little houses or better houses. But I have seen my friends, they are buying apartments there because they are still finding it difficult to buy a house, because that is outside their budget. And if at all, I'm going to say, if at all you don't have to go to office daily, say you are working in London, but you don't need to go to office on a daily basis, I will recommend you guys to take a house outside London, because you will get a better house or bigger house money. So you can think of places like Reading is a good place. You can think of Milton Keynes. You can think of places like St. Albans. You can think of places like Luton or Liverpool, Manchester. There are a lot of other places. If you just Google, look at the connectivity, train connectivity. If you have to travel from you are from Liverpool, if you have to go to London once or twice, there are a lot of fast trains running here. So if you think you can do a commute for a day or two, I think you should still take a property outside London so that you can enjoy that bigger space.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's true. Because I mean, why waste money? That's true. So someone is saying, is it good to buy direct from owner or some real estate?
I have not seen many owners putting a property for sale.
Usually they will go through an agent because they also want to be sure the person they are selling to has the...
Because it's a big money that you are will be involved with, and you want everything to go smoothly. You don't want any scams or frauds to happen. Through agent, I can tell you, I bought both the houses through agent, and the process was whole smooth. I don't have any experience buying it directly with owners. I don't know if you trust and if you see all the paperwork is fine, you may go ahead, but I have experience with that.
So someone is saying that, how do we know whether we are getting the correct offer for the house? Like if an house is for sale, how do you know that's the value of the house? How do you know?
Okay, generally I have seen in the what happens in the houses, before any owner put up their property for sale, or when they go to the agent, say the first house we took through a property agent called Connells, so they will come and visit your property, they will survey the property, and they will tell you what is your current value estimation, and then what you can also call someone from the bank as well. They will also do a survey, and they will tell you, okay, whether this is worth the price or not. Say they roughly estimate it to be 250K. So if they say 250K, if you want to sell that house, say 260K or 270K, you can put that, 10 or even 5% or 10% more than what they're evaluating. After all, it's your property. Agents may try to influence you by saying, hey, don't put that because they will want no buyer. Or they may also say, okay, let's put at this value and see whether they are buyers or not. And if at all they don't get any more buyers, then they try property. So this house that we were trying to buy, it was put at a little high price, but still we were interested to buy this house because we knew it got a potential. We came to know through the agents that there were 10 more people who are interested to buy the house. So what we said, we will pay more than what others are paying, because we wanted to be number one on the list so that we get the house. So I will say generally, the price they are paying or advertising is almost correct. You can negotiate, and if they have too many buyers, and if they find your offer okay, they may give you the property. You may negotiate to little less. My old property, I bought that for 285. They had a 290. I negotiated for 285 because when the bank came to do a survey, they found some fault somewhere in the garage. There were cracks in the wall. Based on the report from the bank, the survey which was done by the bank, I did negotiate £5,000. So it all depends on you. You can do a little bit of negotiation, but if the owner have a better offer from someone else, you have to remember you may lose that offer.
Oh, okay. So you also have to want to be, if you are really interested, then you have to pay. Oh, I get it, because everything is competitive in the UK. Even to buy a house, you have to be on that. Wow.
Yeah.
That is so nice.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, before we bought this out, there were already 3 houses which we liked, but we lost it to someone else because someone else had provided a better
offer. Okay.
Yeah, for that house, so we were trying to negotiate, but the moment they found someone who was ready to pay, we just lost that house.
Oh, that makes sense. So you just have to be on alert as well. Okay, now what are those kind of benefits that we can get from the bank? Like some people will, I don't know, I saw the question here, but I've been trying to browse through it. I've missed it. She was talking about like if you're like a couple, you can save jointly and then they'll give you 5% to buy your house or something like that. Like what kind of benefits can we get from the bank towards buying a house?
From my knowledge, I know that, what I know, you're a British passport holder, and if you're a first-time buyer,
first-time buyers. For first-time buyers.
Yeah, but it's not for people who are on a work permit. Remember that. You're a British passport holder and you're a first-time buyer, you can buy a house in just a 5% deposit. But if you're on a work permit, in my knowledge, you will still, even though you're a first-time buyer, minimum you have to pay is 10% deposit. Okay, I don't think this rule has changed from my knowledge. Okay, guys, do your research as well. But based on what I had seen before, this was the rule, and I don't think the government has changed for the work permit people.
Okay, thank you. And yes, the final topic we'll discuss before ending this live session is how do we save towards a house? Like this, how exactly do we save? Because you're paying rent now. I mean, you won't owe your landlord and tell your landlord, I'm not going to pay your rent. I'm trying to save for a house. You'll be kicked out. So how, like, what are the practical steps to saving for a house? How did you do it? How do you save for a house?
Um, so first thing which I'm going to say, when I bought the first house, I did not I didn't have any like second source of income. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it just on my own salary. So like I said, in IT job, I was getting okay salary or decent salary in the UK, and I was able to afford it. But for the second house, like I said, when my husband came, we started saving. And if you look at this house that we bought, this was a saving from the last 5 to 6 years, which we have done, and we kept in an account. So I will say, what I really think, if you are partners or husband wife together, and you both are in a good job, you'll be able to save through just with your salary. For someone who is a single and or someone with a lesser salary, what I say, try to get into a better job maybe with good salary. That is the thing you can do. Another thing you can do is also start thinking of alternate source of income, like say YouTube. It can be your coaching, it can be like Instagram. You can work with the brands, or um, think of anything else. Yeah, this is just an example I'm saying. Think of any alternate source of income which you can do. You can open your own business or anything else. Yeah, so if you have alternate source of income, that will help you in saving the initial deposit. So as long as you can collect that initial deposit, that will help you to buy the house. And what we did, most of the time, paid our bills wherever possible. We try to pay annually, because when you pay any bills annually, you'll have to pay lesser amount as compared to monthly payments that you do. So wherever possible, your council tax you can pay annually. So we paid it annually, so that you have to pay bigger amounts in a monthly deposit. Even for our, I think for our TV license or stuffs like that, we did. So I didn't took any massive steps. So I know there are a lot of people here. Maybe you are, if you are struggling to save that money, I will say try to find out are the good jobs in the UK. If you can learn new skills, take some time to learn, upgrade yourself, and then move to a higher paying job, so that you can have savings at the end of the month. I can't think of, because I haven't done any more than that. And you can take your families as well, like Indian families. Our parents do help us. Like I said, my parents, my in-laws, they all helped us. My sister also helped me. There are a lot of people who helped me to buy the house, and friends. And once we buy the house, every month we pay back, small, we are able to. So it's the whole family and friends who come together to buy a house.
Wow. So someone is asking, like, be honest with us. How much do you, what would you classify as decent salary? Because you kept saying decent salary, decent salary. What will you classify as decent salary per annum towards buying a house?
Uh,
What do you think someone should earn based
See,
on your experience?
if you just Google, you will see that the average salary in the UK is 32,000 or 30,000 pound. Yeah. So if you have a 33,000 pound, I don't know how good is for you and for your lifestyle. Yeah. I think for me, 33,000 pound is not good enough. The kind of lifestyle I want for myself. Yeah. So like I mentioned, because I work in IT, I'm lucky enough because my salary is more than the average salary in the UK. And like I mentioned, just take an example of 50K. If you have a salary of 50K, I think that is pretty good for the UK market. Yeah. I will consider anything maybe less than 50K. Maybe you can still buy a house. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, based on your salary, you will get 10 times more the bank will give you. If you're on 50K, but you can buy a house of 250K. So again, you need to think of a location where you can have a good house. I can definitely, with 250K in almost all the parts of UK except London, you can buy definitely terraced house, not apartment. You can definitely buy terrace house, I tell you with confidence. And in few parts, you can also buy a semi-detached house. So I will say, so for me, decent salary, I think 40 to 50K, I consider it, because that will help you to buy a house, and you can have a better lifestyle as compared to someone with a salary, or with a lesser salary, say 30. Because if you have a family, you will be able to give rent, do your savings, and other bills that you have to pay, you may struggle.
Okay, this will be our final question. Though you've answered it before, but I will just, I feel like the person joined the IG live a bit late, so I'll just want you to answer it. How many years would you have lived in the UK before you're eligible to buy a house?
The UK government doesn't say anything. As long as you have some history in the UK. Yeah. So say if you have landed today, of course you cannot buy a house because you don't have a history, you don't have any credit score. So minimum I will say 3 to 6 months because you need to have some history in the UK and then your credit score. And I think 3 months maybe less. So I think give yourself 6 months so that you can
Have enough history.
set up a direct debit, pay your bill, buy a house on your name, have a rent agreement on your name, pay your council bill, register on the election post here, which is called electoral roll, and then buy something on a credit like phone or a SIM just on a credit, so that you set up a direct debit and paying your bills, take Wi-Fi on your name, put up a direct debit. So that will help build history because once you make a payment for 3 to 4 months, then your score becomes better. So I will definitely say give yourself 4 to 6 months and then your score will be good. There will be history with your name and then you can approach your bank statement with your salary and then you can how much amount, what is the principal agreement amount they can for you and then take that and go to the in your area to the property that you're interested.
Oh, wow. So someone said by 50K, do you mean per household or individually?
It all depends one person or as a couple. I say as a couple 50K is also good. As an individual 50K is too good. Yeah.
It's too good.
Because when I was living alone, when my husband was not here, I just spent a lot of money, to be honest, traveling, eating out. I was never home. So it all depends how you want to use that money. But as a couple, 50K is also good. You can have a very decent life. So yeah, it all depends what is your definition of a good life and your lifestyle.
Wow, it's been 1 hour, guys. I know she cannot answer all our questions, but I think to be fair, Sarika has answered 90% of the question here today, and I want to say a very big thank you for that. Just tell us about your YouTube channel. So if you need more information, like I said, we can only put this content out. It is for you to go back and watch it. And I know that Sarika's YouTube channel, loaded with over 200 videos. Like, she has explained everything and everything we are saying, she has already explained. So tell us about your YouTube for people that really are interested. Because me, I am fired up. As soon as I get my life together like this, I'm looking towards that buying a house. I'm saving towards it. And I know that when I'm done with buying my house, you are going to invite me on your IG live. So I'll come and talk about, hey guys, I just got my apartment. So just tell us about your YouTube for anybody that wants to, for that, enjoy this thing. Pablo, I will save the video for your sake, okay? I will save the video. Okay, so tell us about your YouTube.
I have a small YouTube channel with name of...
She is lying, guys. It's not small YouTube channel. Having over 200,000 subscribers is not small. Don't do that to us.
By saying it's a big channel, but I have a YouTube channel with name of Your Knowledge Buddy where I do publish video for anyone who is interested to move to UK or any countries as well. If you get time, you can go and check it out. I'm sure you'll find a lot of information that will be benefit for you. And if you don't find the information that you're looking for, you can comment, you can put a message on Instagram or YouTube, and I do consider such kind of requests and I try to incorporate in my future.
Yeah, but guys, please, if not for anything, just go and watch how to buy a house, like a house store. Like, don't watch anything. Just type Your Knowledge Buddy house on YouTube. Your Knowledge Buddy house store. Your Knowledge Buddy accommodation. One of it will pop up. You need to see this apartment. Don't let anybody tell you that as immigrants, you're here to come and suffer. No, the beginning might be rough. That is 100% true. Like, everybody did not start on the platter of gold. The beginning will definitely be rough. It is not so easy, but you can make it big. Like, guys, you can make it big. You see that lifestyle you've always wanted to live back home. You can do it in another country. People will tell you, no, I don't want to start over in a new country. Start over and start big. Like, you can actually make it big in this country. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. The sky is your starting point. And I know that I will share my story one day because I'm still in my struggling phase, but I am so positive and I am so sure down to 101% that things will turn around good for me someday. I will look back and be like, this journey was absolutely worth it. So don't let anybody discourage you at all, guys. Don't let it. So any final words, Sarika, before we go, because you've given us 1 hour of your time, and I cannot afford you, so I don't want I don't want you to stay longer.
I'm going to say, guys, you know, initially everybody struggled. When I moved to the country, of course, I did not have this kind of lifestyle. Yeah, I was in a shared apartment, one landlord.
Wow. I should have asked you to tell us your beginning. Please just give us the background to shared apartment to 6-bedroom flat. You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, do you see what I'm saying? From shared apartment to a 6-bedroom flat, and a massive one, not tiny 6-bedroom, a massive. Wow. Please share your beginning with us, and let's just use that to round the live session.
Yeah, so the first 5 years or 4 years of my life in the UK, I was in a shared apartment because I didn't know more about UK. I thought of buying a house. I didn't know if on a work permit I can buy. And first of all, I wasn't sure whether I would live in the UK permanently. I did not even think about that. So initially when I came, I only thought of, okay, let me travel to Europe because I don't know how long I'm in the UK. Let me go and explore the places around, or the restaurants around, or the pubs around. That is where I stayed. So I was living in a shared apartment, so save money, and that really helped me. Let me tell you, with the money that I saved, buy the first house. So I will say, do not let your initial few years determine how your life will be. Once you struggle in the initial period, you know, you can define, you know, how your future to be. Start saving as much as possible, and then once you do your savings, you know, you can definitely buy a house in the UK. Yeah, I lived in a shared house. I lived in also a studio kind of apartment. All the kind of apartment. 4 years I was moving around here and there. I did not have stability as well. So I would say just focus. If you want to buy a house, do your savings, make sure your credit history is good, and you will definitely buy a house. And doesn't matter whether you buy a 1-bedroom house or a studio house or a 6-bedroom, doesn't matter. Just buy your one house first, and that will give you a lot of confidence and courage to buy your next house as well.
Aww, oh my God, I'm so emotional right now. Aww. Thank you so much, Sarika. Thank you for this live session. I'm so grateful you came here. I am fired up. I know that I've got work to do. Savings. I need to start saving, no matter how little. And thank you so much, guys, for tuning in as always. I'm going to put this video here. I'll try and upload it on YouTube when I have time, but at least I know I will save it on this page. So if you want to watch it, please go back. Go to your knowledge body on YouTube. You will definitely be motivated. Trust me, over 200 videos. What more are you looking for? She's the Google of she's the UK Google of of YouTube. Like she's literally there's nothing on YouTube about UK, Europe, studying, living, ILR, IT jobs, sponsorship, nothing that you're looking for on YouTube that you will not find on your knowledge body, and that is the absolute truth. Thank you so much, Sarika. I hope when I call you again for another live session, you will definitely come. This is the second time you're coming on my live, and I'm loving it because every time you come, you dish out fantastic information. Our YouTube name is Your Knowledge Body. Your Knowledge Body. Once you check my page, our handle, that is exactly our YouTube page. Thank you so much, guys. So we'll meet again.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Sarika. Thank you so much. Bye.